Caution. The upcoming video delves into eerie paranormal occurrences and the possibility of encounters with dark forces. If you prefer not to venture into the realm of the supernatural, we kindly suggest clicking away. However, for those brave souls who have chosen to stay, let us embark on this extraordinary journey. Hello and welcome to the Ghosted channel. If you've landed here, then you're into everything paranormal and horror related, and I think we are going to get on great. This is episode 1, and today we are going to talk about the haunted Sallie House. So get comfortable, dim the lights, have your favorite snacks to hand, and let's get into it. The Sallie House, located in Atchison, Kansas, is notorious for its reputation as a haunted location. It gained widespread attention in the 1990s due to reports of paranormal activity experienced by the DeFeo family and subsequent occupants. The house was built in the mid-19th century and has a long history of alleged hauntings. The most well-known story revolves around a young girl named Sallie, who is believed to be a ghost haunting the property. According to accounts, Sallie was a young girl who suffered from appendicitis and was brought to the house for medical treatment in the early 1900s. It is said that she died during the procedure, leading to her restless spirit remaining in the house. Over the years, various reports of paranormal phenomena have been documented at the Sallie House. Witnesses have reported hearing disembodied voices, seeing apparitions, witnessing objects move on their own, and experiencing physical manifestations such as scratches and burns. Some visitors have also claimed to be pushed, scratched, or attacked by unseen forces while inside the house. The Sallie House has been the subject of investigations by paranormal researchers and has been featured in several television shows and documentaries, further fueling its reputation as a haunted location. The activity at the house has sparked debates among skeptics and believers in the paranormal, with some dismissing the claims as mere folklore, while others insist on the authenticity of the haunting. It's worth noting that the current owners of the Sallie House have taken steps to limit access to the property due to concerns about the well-being of visitors. As a result, it may not be open for public investigations or tours at the present time. The Sallie House remains a popular topic among paranormal enthusiasts and those interested in the supernatural. So let's talk about the most famous case in the Sallie House. On the last day of December in 1992, Tony and Deborah Pickman, a youthful newlywed couple eagerly anticipating the arrival of their first child in June 1993, settled into their modest two-story abode located at 504 North 2nd Street. Filled with excitement, they embarked on their new journey as a family, cherishing the prospects that lay ahead. As the couple began unpacking their belongings, their typically calm and composed dog suddenly erupted into fierce barks directed at the nursery they were preparing for their impending arrival. Initially attributing it to the dog adjusting to its new surroundings, the Pickmans dismissed the incident, assuming it would pass. True to their expectations, the barking gradually subsided within a week. From January to June 1993, the young couple encountered peculiar phenomena within their home. They witnessed flickering lights, unexplained drops in temperature throughout the house, and inexplicable disconnections during phone calls on their landline. Being first-time homeowners, and residing in a late 1800s built house, they brushed off these occurrences as common quirks, with Tony even jesting, "Ha, we must have a ghost." However, everything changed once their newborn baby arrived. The arrival of their son seemed to amplify the strange happenings. Electronic toys would autonomously turn on and off. And one day, while Deborah was vacuuming the nursery, she observed the wind-up musical mobile above her son's crib spontaneously playing on its own. Furthermore, she couldn't shake the feeling that her son woke up almost every hour throughout the night, as if someone were engaging with him. Curiously, a neighbor questioned Deborah about leaving the nursery light on throughout the night, despite the baby actually sleeping in Deborah and Tony's room at the time. There was no logical explanation for the light being on in the nursery. Deborah speculated that the neighbor may have mistaken light from the hallway, but the neighbor was insistent that the light emanated from within the nursery itself. In July 1993, Deborah's sister Karen visited to assist with the newborn. It was on Karen's last evening with them that the Pickmans were pushed beyond the realm of disbelief and into a state of terror. After returning from a day spent at Deborah's in-laws, Tony questioned Deborah about why she had placed all of the baby's stuffed animals on the nursery floor. Confused by Tony's inquiry, Deborah joined him as they ascended the stairs to the nursery. To their astonishment, they discovered all the stuffed animals arranged in a circle, with their backs turned towards each other, facing forward. Suspecting it to be a prank orchestrated by one of Tony's brothers, the Pickmans diligently restored the stuffed animals to their rightful places throughout the nursery, only to find them once again on the floor in the same pattern. Strangely, they also noticed that the nursery lights, despite Tony turning them off, remained illuminated. They returned to the nursery to switch off the lights, only to find one of the teddy bears lying flat on its back in the middle of the floor. Undeterred, they placed it back on the chair, only to discover it back on the floor, lying flat on its back, hours later. Filled with unease, they decided to spend the night in Deborah and Tony's room. Upon hearing the unsettling events of the previous night, Tony's brother Greg arrived with his 35mm camera. The Pickmans led Greg up to the nursery, and just as he was about to take a photograph of the stuffed bear, he uttered, "If you're here, do you want to have your picture taken?" In a jaw-dropping display, the bear spun around of its own accord right before their eyes. The group was overwhelmed with panic, grappling with fear and an array of emotions. They collectively agreed it would be best to vacate the premises for a while. After the terrifying encounter with the spinning bear, the Pickmans hastily gathered their baby and essentials, preparing to leave the house. However, as Tony secured the newborn into the car seat on the living room's sectional couch, he experienced a sharp pain in his lower back. It wasn't until they arrived at Tony's parents' place that Deborah requested to see his back. To her horror, she discovered 3 long scratches running down the center of her husband's back. Unfortunately, this incident marked the first of many occasions where Tony would endure scratches during their time in the Sallie House, including one instance that was captured on video. Subsequently, the couple sought the assistance of psychic Barbara Connor, who visited them on July 29, 1993. While in conversation with the spirit, Barbara sat quietly with closed eyes, eventually revealing to the Pickmans the spirit's name. The presence haunting their home belonged to a young girl who preferred to be called Sallie. Sallie would often make her presence known by lighting a candle, an act that Barbara portrayed as a considerate gesture indicating the presence of a friendly entity. At least, that was the belief Barbara instilled in the Pickmans, emphasizing the importance of Deborah being patient, yet firm with Sallie, to maintain a peaceful coexistence. However, this assumption would soon prove to be gravely mistaken. On October 31, 1993, any lingering doubts about the existence of a presence in the house were promptly dispelled. In the early hours of Halloween, Tony returned home from work and headed to the kitchen to get a drink. As he turned around after fetching a cup from the cupboard, he was startled to find a young girl standing in the kitchen. Tony vividly described her appearance, mentioning her white dress and a white ribbon adorning her hair, reminiscent of attire one might wear to a church service. In a surreal realization, Tony noticed that he could see through the girl, as if she were transparent, enabling him to see the door behind her. Years later, a former resident who lived in the house prior to the Pickmans recounted how their daughter, at the age of 5, had an imaginary friend named Sallie. Whenever the daughter was reprimanded for misbehavior, she would insist, "I didn't do that. Sallie did it," or "Sallie told me to do it." When shown the drawing Tony had made depicting the spirit he had witnessed in the kitchen, the little girl confirmed that it bore a striking resemblance to the Sallie she remembered from her childhood. But was Sallie truly a young girl? Local legends recounted a tragic tale of a girl named Sallie, who met her untimely demise during a botched appendectomy in the Sallie House, which had once served as a doctor's office. However, according to anthropology professor Sean Daly, who led an investigation into the home, there was no substantial evidence of a girl named Sallie residing in Atchison during that particular time period. This discrepancy raised intriguing questions about the nature of the entity presenting itself as a little girl. Perhaps Tony's second encounter with Sallie could shed some light on the matter. In his own words, Tony recalled, "I saw that little girl twice, and the second time was far from pleasant. She tugged at me, attempting to pull me out of bed, persistently reaching for me while I resisted. The more I resisted, the more determined she became. On the 3rd or 4th attempt, she gripped my arm tightly. I was truly shaken and overwhelmed by the terrifying sight that unfolded before my eyes. Words fail to capture the essence of what I witnessed. It was a perplexing amalgamation of both human and animal features, reminiscent of decaying flesh. The sight of wriggling worms crawling through its form sent shivers down my spine, while a menacing growl escaped its lips. In that moment, a wave of dizziness threatened to consume me entirely. The unnerving encounter left an indelible mark on my memory, prompting me to exclaim, "Oh my God!" as I teetered on the edge of consciousness. The haunting image of that grotesque transformation lingered within me, evoking profound fear and trepidation. Years later, Tony and Deborah Pickman chose to vacate the Sallie House in October of 1994. However, their connection to the place remained, and they continued to bear witness to peculiar phenomena long after departing from its walls. Their unsettling experiences endured for decades, a testament to the enigmatic bond they still shared with the dwelling. Following the Pickmans' departure, Mary Liggett, accompanied by her husband and 2 children, leased the house from the owner, Les Smith. It was during an unexpected maintenance visit to the property that Smith made a disturbing discovery. He encountered a sizable pentagram adorning the basement floor, alongside an ominous altar and other unsettling paraphernalia. Prompted by this macabre revelation, Les Smith, the landlord, urgently demanded that Mary Liggett, who was rumored to dabble in Satan worship, evacuate the premises without delay. So, does the Sallie House bear witness to a haunting by an innocent child, or does a more sinister, demonic presence lurk within its walls? Did Mary Liggett and her family inadvertently unleash a malevolent force by opening a demonic portal? Furthermore, is it true that the Pickman family remains bound to this property by an otherworldly attachment? We appreciate your feedback and welcome your suggestions for other haunted locations that you'd like us to feature in our videos. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to show your support by liking and subscribing to our channel. You can also find helpful links in the description to further support our content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay spooky and take care.